Did you know that some of the most influential minds in history, scientists, artists, revolutionaries, even presidents, were bound not by politics or religion, but by silent oaths whispered beneath candlelight, within sacred chambers no map can find? Their names echo in textbooks, their deeds changed nations, but behind their public masks they were initiates, disciples of the Hermetic mysteries. Hidden in plain sight, they drew their power not from wealth or armies, but from the ancient symbols carved into the bones of forgotten temples. Leonardo da Vinci, Sir Isaac Newton, Benjamin Franklin, they were more than inventors and visionaries. They were alchemists of thought, architects of destiny, and they belonged to a lineage older than empires. Guardians of a sacred current that pulsed beneath the visible world, a current rooted in Hermeticism. What is Hermeticism? It is not a belief, it is a remembrance. A remembering that all things are one, that the stars above mirror the cells below, that mind shapes matter, that to know the universe, you must first know yourself. As above, so below, as within, so without. These words are not metaphor, they are code, sacred instruction left behind by those who understood that reality is not fixed but formed, and those who master that code do not wait for history to happen. They write it. From the ruins of Alexandria to the vaults beneath European cathedrals, the Hermetic teachings were preserved, protected, and passed on in silence. Through symbols, rituals, and inner transformation, the chosen few learned to bend reality, not through sorcery, but through alignment with the cosmic order. But to the uninitiated, such claims sound like fantasy, secret societies, hidden doctrines. It all feels too cinematic, too conspiratorial. And yet, what if the most unbelievable stories are true, not because they are false, but because we've been trained to forget? This is the challenge. In a world ruled by logic and proof, the influence of hidden orders is dismissed as myth. And yet, beneath the surface of revolutions, renaissances, and scientific breakthroughs, there lies a thread, a golden thread woven by unseen hands. To follow it, you must go back to where it began, ancient Egypt. Thoth, the god of wisdom, scribe of the gods, keeper of balance, was said to have gifted humanity the Hermetic teachings. These truths were not laws, they were keys to unlocking the divine blueprint within the soul. The teachings migrated through Alexandria into Greek philosophy, into the mystic heart of Islam, and eventually into the Renaissance minds of Europe. By the 17th century, the Hermetic order had crystallized into secret fraternities. Some were called the Rosicrucians, others the Freemasons. Still others bore no name at all, moving like shadows across the centuries. Their goal was not domination, but preservation. They understood that power without wisdom is poison, and so they hid the fire until the world was ready. And yet, even in hiding, their influence ignited revolutions. The American founding fathers etched Hermetic symbols into the very architecture of the Republic. Look at the Great Seal, the Eye, the unfinished pyramid. These are not decorative flourishes. They are talismans, living glyphs meant to awaken. Sir Isaac Newton spent more time decoding alchemical texts than he did writing physics equations. Why? Because he believed that understanding the universe meant going beyond the seen into the unseen. Carl Jung explored the archetypes of the collective unconscious and was guided in part by Hermetic principles. He knew that the soul speaks not in words, but in symbols, that the myths of the ancients were not superstition, they were maps of inner terrain. Even the birth of quantum physics echoes Hermetic law. All is mind. The universe is mental. These maxims, once scoffed at by materialists, now echo through the corridors of modern science. But the Hermetic orders did not simply inspire theory, they shaped events. Consider the mysterious gathering in 1785, deep within the Bavarian forests, where a select few gathered to perform an initiation rite just days before a key European treaty was signed. Present were noblemen, scientists, and poets. Their ceremony echoed ancient Egyptian rites, invoking the balance of opposites, the alchemy of the soul. What they set in motion would ripple through the French Revolution and beyond. Or the curious case of the 9 unknown men, a shadowy Hermetic council rumored to have formed in India over 2,000 years ago. Some say they still exist, hidden behind global institutions, guarding knowledge too powerful to reveal. But perhaps the most striking moment came in the 20th century. In 1945, just as the world was reeling from war, a sealed jar was discovered near Nag Hammadi, Egypt. Inside, ancient Hermetic and Gnostic texts long thought lost, among them the Corpus Hermeticum, a voice from across the ages reawakening. At the same time, humanity was splitting atoms, decoding DNA, and sending minds to the moon. Coincidence or cosmic synchronicity? Because here is the truth. The Hermetic Orders never vanished. They simply adapted. Today, they no longer wear robes or meet by torchlight. At least not always. They exist in the realms of thought leaders, spiritual reformers, tech visionaries, and esoteric philosophers. They use different language, but the current is the same. You've seen them. Perhaps you are one of them. The ones who speak in symbols, who read between lines, who question consensus reality, who feel ancient truths vibrating in their chest like a tuning fork when they gaze at the stars. The modern cult shaping our age is not a cult in the conventional sense. It is a cult of consciousness, a return to remembering, a reweaving of heaven and earth through the inner temple. But with remembrance comes responsibility, because Hermetic wisdom is not entertainment, it is initiation. To gaze into the mysteries is to risk transformation. To embrace the ancient laws is to unmake the small self. The world does not want you to know this. It wants you distracted, divided, disempowered. But once you glimpse the hidden order, the divine architecture beneath chaos, you cannot return to sleep. Because you understand now that symbols are language, that rituals are technology, that mythology is memory, and that the greatest revolution is not political, but spiritual. It is the revolution of the soul awakening to its sovereignty. So, reflect on this. Every time a scientist glimpses truth in numbers, every time an artist channels something that cannot be explained, every time a dream leaves behind a symbol that burns in the mind, you are witnessing Hermeticism in motion. This is not the past, it is the eternal present. The Hermetic Orders have shaped more than history. They have shaped you, not by command, but by call, not by rule, but by rhythm. And now the rhythm stirs again. The question is, will you answer? Will you begin to see the world not as chaos, but as cosmos? Will you begin to read the language of the divine that hides in plain sight? Because the veil is thinner than ever, and the temple doors are not closed. They are waiting, and the key is remembering.